Hello, good evening, creatures of the console and spirits of the save file in the forgotten memory cards of your drawers. Welcome to a very special haunted edition of the Silver Foxes Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Ghoul in the Hat. Joining us today, crawling from the Resident Evil Raccoon City Police Department. Our very own ZakashiGaming. Thank you for joining us tonight on this special Halloween edition of the Silver Foxes. Introducing our first track of the show, requested by our own community member, Paigey Possum. We have This Is Halloween, a classic track from Kingdom Hearts 2. Enjoy. Two composers that need very little introduction, but I'm going to attempt to anyway. The legendary Danny Elfman. He's made an infinite amount of scores, and of course, in video game world, Yoko Shimomura. If there was like a wall of fame of video game composers, I feel like I've said this conversation before. Yoko Shimomura will definitely be one of those pillars. Like, if there's a pillars of Japanese video game composers, or just video game composers in general, but especially like from Japan, she would absolutely be one of them. She's made all of your favorite soundtracks, from Streets of Rage 2, Kingdom Hearts. I think she's mostly Streets of Rage 2. Sorry, Street Fighter 2. Of course, Street Fighter 2. Yeah, and recently Parasite Eve. Although the game's actually set in and around Christmas, even though it's a horror game, it's actually set around Christmas, which I've really been enjoying lately. And thank you to our community member Paigey Possum for selecting the track today. If you'd like to get involved in the discussions, or you would like to introduce a video game to our show, we'll have a spot especially for you. Join us in the Discord. It'll be in the comments section below on the red platform. And you'll also find out when me and myself Me and myself.
Yourself, me, myself, and I.
Me, myself, and I. When Zakashi and myself. Oh, sorry. Zombie Gaming. And Ghoul in a Hat goes live on the purple platform. You know,
I mean, that's pretty much all you hear from my streams anyway. It's dreadful, especially
just
last
moaning
one.
and groaning and dying.
Oh my god!
But yeah, fantastic track, classic track. I feel like the Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a fantastic rendition of it. I love how Yoko, especially in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and I love Kingdom Hearts with my entire being. It kind of goes a bit mental after 2, I will be honest. The story gets like, you need a university psychology degree to understand how the lore of Kingdom Hearts works in terms of narrative and characters and how they all relate to each other, and Heartless and Nobodies and all that other jargon. It started well with Kingdom Hearts. You could just about follow it, and then Kingdom Hearts 2 is getting a little bit out there, but you can still follow it. Birth by Sleep, which I think is actually one of the better told stories in the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise, in my personal opinion. And then after that, it kind of just goes off on one.
They just did too many spin-off. A lot of spin-off games between 2 and 3.
I don't think it's spin-offs. You could be right there. You know, you definitely have a sound opinion and a valid opinion that it's got too many spin-offs, and especially when the spin-offs was split across various consoles that maybe not everyone had at the same time, and every single Kingdom Hearts story, including the mobile one, was tied into the lore and the narrative as a important piece. And if you missed that one, then some story beats in like 3, for example, which is the culmination of all of it, can be lost, which is a shame. But regardless, I still love the franchise. I still consider myself a fan, even with 3. And I will forever be a fan of the music of the video games. I love how Yoko takes a well-established Disney track, whether it be from Lion King, Hercules, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Alice in Wonderland, all of them, and she does a different spin on it to make it feel like and fit into the world of Kingdom Hearts, or make it Final Fantasy-esque, like exactly how the game's kind of portrayed. It's this middle ground of Disney and Final Fantasy. What's his name? Tetsuya Nomura did it perfectly with the art, with the characters, and how can you make a Final Fantasy-like character but Disney-fied? Like with Sora, I think Sora's actually one of the most genius characters designs that's ever been created. If you think about like how they both blend together, and I think Yoko, in terms of the music, is an absolute genius. Like, it's still The Nightmare Before Christmas, but it's a different rendition of it. Yet it fits so well with the JRPG Final Fantasy-esque nature of it. It's near perfect. I can't fault any of the Kingdom Hearts soundtracks, especially 1 and 2. They're so good. It just hits you in the nostalgic feels, especially with you. I imagine Zakashi and myself, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 is our Disney era. That's our own era of Disney. I'm sure it is with a lot of people, especially like millennials, both the older and younger millennials, with, again, Lion King, Nightmare Before Christmas, Toy Story, and the later ones.
It's quite shocking that Toy Story didn't feature prior into before number 3, but
I think it's just it wasn't owned by Disney at the time.
Yeah, it wasn't at the time. It was still Pixar, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was still Pixar. Yeah,
it made sense that it would be included in 3 at least, and I was quite grateful. Actually, one of the better levels in 3.
According to the Pirates of the Caribbean one as well.
I remember saying to you, I can't wait for you to get to a certain level.
It was the best.
And that one was probably my favourite level in 3. It was a fantastic level. Yeah, fantastic rendition. And again, thank you, Paigey Possum, one of our community members, our first community member, I think. One of our first community member. Thank you very much for joining. Yeah, they introduced this track for today. What's your thoughts on it?
Oh, it's classic, as you say.
Yep.
It's a a staple of anybody's Kingdom Hearts go-to track, I think. For those that listen to him on a regular basis. I don't listen to a lot of Kingdom Hearts tracks like I used to, but going back to where I was outing out Paigey for thinking that this was going to be an Animal Crossing track, and lo and behold, she blew me.
Animal Crossing.
She does, and they do have a Halloween theme, but she was like, no, just out of spite, I'm gonna make sure it's not. So this one was So okay, I hold my hand up. That was definitely Paigey, but no, this is a good track, and like I said, it brings back some nostalgia.
Incredibly grateful Paigey brought this one, because any chance we can talk about Kingdom Hearts. I think
going back to the 12, 13.
The updated rendition of it from 2.5.
Yeah, the 2.5 version, yeah.
Thank you very much, Paigey Possum. And now we're going into... have you finished your thoughts on this track? Are you ready to move on to the next two?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. I'm ready to move.
Cool. We are going to introduce our next two tracks, one of which is by our own ZakashiGaming, and next followed by my own selection. We have, of course... Finally glad it's been featured. Ghost Pumpkin Hill from Sonic Adventure 2 and Confusing Melody from Chrono Trigger. Enjoy.
You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gon' let it get to me, I'm just gon' creep down in Pumpkin Hill, I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here, I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I'm gonna hold my head, cause I have no fear. This probably seems crazy, a graveyard theory. Our ghosts try to approach me and got leery. Ask him a question and he vanished in a second. I'm walking through valleys, crying pumpkin in the alley. Didn't seem happy, but they sure tried to get me. Had to back them up with a fist metal crackle. I'm hearing someone saying, you a chicken, don't be scared. It had to be the wind, cause nobody wasn't there. I searched and I searched as I climbed up the wall. And then I started to fly, I went in deeper. Let it get to me, I'm just gon' creep down Pumpkin Hill, I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here, I sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I gotta hold my head, I have no fear. It probably seems crazy, a graveyard theory. A ghost try to approach me, he got leery. Just gon' creep down in Pumpkin Hill, I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here, I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I'm gonna hold my head, cause I have no fear. This probably seems crazy, a graveyard theory. Our ghosts try to approach me and got leery. Ask him a question and he vanished in a second. I'm walking through valleys, crying pumpkin in the alley. Didn't seem happy, but they sure tried to get me. Had to back them up with a fist metal crackle. I'm hearing someone saying, you a chicken, don't be scared. It had to be the wind, cause nobody wasn't there. I searched and I searched as I climbed up the wall. And then I started to fly, I went in deeper. Let it get to me, I'm just gon' creep down Pumpkin Hill, I got to find my lost piece. I know that it's here, I sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I gotta hold my head, I have no fear. It probably seems crazy, a graveyard theory. A ghost try to approach me, he got leery. Spooky up in here, it's crazy in here.
I know that it's here. I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. Oh, it's so good. I love that track so much. Thanks for bringing that today. What a classic Sonic track. Oh. You brought this one today, so please start us off.
Probably the main reason why we were doing a Halloween special, to just get this, to put this track in the perfect time to do it. Oh, where do I even begin? I don't know if it's something I wish that I didn't listen to as much, because sometimes you listen to certain tracks, especially like the first track we had, and it takes me back. I've not listened to it for a very long time. And there's there's certain tracks that could just take you back to that exact moment. And as much as I love the track, like I think I just love the track, but I can't go back. It doesn't let me go back for some reason, because I just listened to it that many times.
See what you mean? Yeah.
Going from what my thing of it is, Sonic Adventure 2 is the tracks on there itself, not just this one, are all, like I say, they're iconic in their own way.
It's just banger after banger.
And
SA2 is amazing.
The tracks for the Knuckles ones stood out for me more. I think, just like I said, during the time, I was a lot into the rap, a lot of hip hop.
Yeah, it's very Cypress Hill, isn't it?
Yes.
Got like underlining like Cypress Hill beats to it.
So yeah, it knew its way into my head very quick. And the level itself, it's so meme to hell that anyone that's played SA2 just knows this level off by heart, and how much I don't know what it was. It was just, I think the level design for most Knuckles levels were a pain in the ass. And I'm not, but what made it better was the music, and Pumpkin Hill will probably go down in gaming history, if not, at least for me, is probably one of the top 10, if not the top 5 gaming tracks of all time. I mean, there are some bangers, of course, and that might be just a bit of me being biased, but there's
nothing wrong with that.
But it's just one of those, you know it, you've heard it, and if you know, it's just, what else? I don't know what else you can say. You know, the track plays well.
Sorry, I didn't cut you off.
Oh, do you want to go for the composers?
I didn't mean to cut you off. Please continue.
No, it's all right. Yeah, as you say, like it is. I don't know. It's like they've just gone, can you make us a Halloween rap track? And that's just like, oh, that's it. You know.
I love how. This was composed by Tomoya Ohtani with vocals by Hunnid-P. I love how the Sonic franchise, when they release a game, not every single game is a hit, but most of the games they make, they are very well aware of the audience that's playing the game at that specific time. They know what type of music is popular of that time.
Yeah. And
I feel like SA1 and 2, especially like with Sonic's like surf punk rock, that was popular at the time, with like late 90s, early 2000s, like skate theme, like skating was very popular, as evident by SA2's Grinding on Rails. It's heavily influenced by the culture of that time. But of course, rap was getting popular at that time as well. Like we mentioned, Cypress Hill and G-Funk, that sort of like funk beat underlining the track with like rap lyrics at the top. And SA2 perfectly captures both of those genres and mixes it well with the characters in question. It's like maybe some people wouldn't look at Knuckles and think, oh, okay, G-Funk rap, and all right then. But for us, it's like, yeah, totally makes sense. Knuckles looks like someone who might listen to rap. Sonic is someone who probably who's interested in listening to fast-paced punk rock songs, and Shadow is certainly interested in like darker, moody, leaning on metal, industrial type of music. I could totally see that. But echoing what you said a minute ago, that it doesn't take me back to a certain time with this track, because SA 1 and 2, especially 2, I listen to them often, and I don't mean like once a year. It's throughout the years that I've listened to these tracks multiple times. It's usually on a video game playlist I have, or a Sonic themed playlist. It's, if there was a quote unquote greatest hits of Sonic music, a lot of them would be SA 1 and 2 music. And it kind of just goes to the triumph of the music within these games, that they just work so well both in game and out of context of that game. Like, if you're very much a video gamer of the like a millennial video gamer who played lots of various video games, Sonic adventure music is very much a, oh yeah, that's definitely going on a tape playlist. Like, I had all of these songs on a tape when I went to school. I would record it through an aux cable to a stereo, and I record them all to tape, and that would be in my tape deck as I went on my, I think it wasn't Sony Walkman, we were too poor for that. It would have been whatever Argos was selling. I think it was Alba. I can vividly remember the tape deck. It was like an ocean blue tape deck. It sounded like, it just sounded awful. Yeah. Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 music was on that tape deck, as well as Jet Set Radio, like the classic Sega tracks and Final Fantasy music. And kind of like with, I hate to again say like quote unquote traditional music, like you'd hear in a stereo, and you'd hear those famous songs from, you know, like Nirvana, or like a song would come on in the stereo, like Michael Jackson might be a better example of, you hear that song, and a song that kind of transcends the artist and its time. Where a child could listen to a Michael Jackson song and go, oh yeah, cool. Or an elderly person might hear a Michael Jackson song, like, yeah, they're still great tracks. And in terms of video gamey and video game music, I still think a lot of the tracks in SA 1 and 2 can be enjoyed by all areas of, I'm trying to express how I'm feeling about these tracks because they're so important to me, and I'm failing to find the words for it. That it's just so emotional tracks for me in SA2. They speak to me quite deeply because I listen to them every year. I listen to them all the time, and it's really hard for me to convey just how much like genuine love I have for these tracks. And I'm glad you brought Ghost Pumpkin Hill. Anybody from our generation who played video games knows Pumpkin Hill. May not like the game, or maybe not particularly like the track, yet they most likely know Pumpkin Hill or City Escape. Probably City Escape is the most famous one.
It's probably the one, yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably hear City Escape and people go, oh yeah, I've heard this one on various different things. It's quite a famous track, profound track for me, and I say it as for the entire SA2 soundtrack. I'm so glad you brought it in today. It fits the spooky theme of Halloween. I don't know what the instrument's called, but it's a ooh, ooh, you know, just that just gives it the spooky vibe added to it. Yeah, it's still suitable for a children's game. It's like, it's not a scary track, it's just a Halloween themed track. Yeah. And I feel like the first two tracks in our show are not scary tracks, they're just horror themed, not horror themed, but Halloween themed. It's more about the fanciful playfulness of Halloween.
And we have some scary ones coming up, though.
And we have some scary ones coming. And I felt like this track next, Confusing Melody, Chrono Trigger, is a nice segue from the Halloween theme tracks starting to lean into some spookier tracks. And sadly, I didn't play Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo because in the UK we never got it. It wasn't.
No,
we didn't get it, sadly, as was the case often in that era. We often didn't get a lot of 16-bit RPGs.
They didn't sell well, did they? They weren't
not in the UK.
Well,
no, I think at the time we were not a role-playing game favorited company. Maybe, I'm not too sure. I don't know what the logistics around it is. So I think our first experience with Chrono Trigger was like we didn't even get the PlayStation 1 port. That was also only in America. And that was when I first played Chrono Trigger. I had a chipped PlayStation 1, as a lot of kids our generation did. Yeah, shockingly, I didn't actually chip my PlayStation to play copied discs. I would import them. I would import them from online, and one of the earlier games I remember importing was the Final Fantasy Chronicles disc, which came with 4 and Chrono Trigger. Sadly, I don't have that copy anymore. I moved that one along. And that was my first exposure to Chrono Trigger. And I remember at the time, I wasn't into it. I had no preconception of the legacy that Chrono Trigger had. It was just not what I was into at the time. So I didn't really sit down to play the entirety of Chrono Trigger until the actual official UK release of it, which was the DS version. That was the one I played all the way through. Now, I didn't have the wow, this is the best game ever created. I think that time for me, myself, with this particular game has passed. You know, it's not often, not that I can call anyway, where I've played a game that was well beloved and favorited of that time. That is now my new favorite of the current time. You know, if a time has passed, it's like if I play Chrono Trigger on the Super Nintendo when I was a child, it would be my favorite game of all time, or one of. Whereas now it's more of a history lesson of a game that I enjoy. And with Chrono Trigger, great game. I loved it. It's great story, great graphics, even better music. I very much enjoyed the music. It's a great classic turn-based role-playing game. And this music especially, I remember going into the castle. I can't remember the particulars of what happens in the dungeon. I think he's just chasing someone, if I recall. But I wasn't expecting this track when I came into the dungeon. Because a lot of the music I've not heard in Chrono Trigger. I've only ever heard the battle music at that time. I think it's quite successful on trying to create a spooky... It's the laugh track that they've added into it. It's that laugh track. It's not a lot going on in terms of track. It's got a lot of subtle layers. It's just a ha 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 ha, and I like how it sounds.
You see it in the background, yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of just the laugh is kind of in the distance, but it's still quite prominent as you are running around the track. And I can just imagine like children or like older children playing this back in the day on the Super Nintendo being really spooked. I could totally imagine that. And I just think this is a great track to invoke the feeling of spookiness with the laugh track as you're exploring a castle just full of zombies and spooky ghouls and ghosts. Again, I'm trying to recall. I can picture some of the images, but I can't remember my play experience. It's one that I would like to go back soon and retry again and play it again. So I did play it. I got the default ending. I'd like to try it again at some point in the future. Sadly, I don't have the same love for it as a lot of people of that generation. It's just one of those that's completely passed me by. I've played other games since. but I could acknowledge the legacy because it had an all-star development cast. It had everybody working on it, like everybody. Nobuo Uematsu, Noriko Matseda, Yoshinori Mitsuda. Lots of people working on it. But I thought it was always a great track. This one's always stuck with me. It's probably the most memorable track of that soundtrack that I can keep recalling. Great track. What's your thoughts?
I just want to go back to when you mentioned about it triggered off a memory of mine. You said about having a chipped PlayStation 1. So I remember I knew somebody. I never had one. I never had a chipped one, but I knew someone who did, and I just thought I thought it was taboo. Like it was like one of those things. Like, wait, you've got a chipped PlayStation 1? Like, what? Like, what is this? What's this sorcery? You know?
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, oh my god, like the police are gonna come. Oh my god, what's gonna happen? And that's just my naive brain when I was a kid, and I suppose I still am in ways. But yeah, it was just one of those when you mentioned it, I was just brought it back, and I was just like, oh my
That's
god,
a cute
I can't
memory.
believe I felt like that.
That's
So
a
that
cute
was
memory.
what
I like that one.
I wanted to bring that back, but well, to tell you all anyway. But yeah, the same thing for you. Chrono Trigger, again, a game that passed us on, you know, the two consoles that it came out on, and then we eventually get our official release on the DS, going back all those years ago. And yes, again, a game that I played all those many years ago. And not actually, I can't say that I actually enjoyed playing Chrono Trigger as much as I would have perhaps liked to.
Yeah,
Maybe because it was on the console, it's set on where it was.
Yeah.
I don't remember like a lot of fond memories of me playing handheld consoles, especially in those early years. Other than the Game Boy, I don't think I enjoyed, because I didn't enjoy the PSP when it first came out. I don't like the games on it when it first came out weren't fantastic. It was much later on when they actually got better games. So, you know, and then you had the DS and 3DS, and yes, the typical games that might keep you occupied for a while, but you still would go and be like, well, I've got a PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 or something like that, and you'd be like, what would I rather play? And you know what you're going to go and do. They were good for car journeys, they were good for going away and stuff, but I wish Chrono Trigger was a game that when we officially got it was maybe we actually did get the PlayStation 1 release, or we did get a PS2 like remaster or sort of remake, or just put it onto the PS2. I'm glad you bought it, because there's so many good tracks that I've not brought, and when I saw this on the list, I was just like, do you know what? I'm glad you did, because I remember the laugh. I remember hearing that every time, and I'm like, this is it's so eerie, and I'm like, that it stuck with me, and I was just like, I can't believe out of all the things when I played, this was one of them. And it just shows you how great the composing of just this simple but effective track was.
I think it's a simple track, yeah, it's quite effective.
Yes.
It sells the scene. Like, you're in a spooky castle and whenever all the lights are dark, and that I think we're not alone in that. It is the laugh track. I think that just adding that laugh track makes it.
Without that,
it
becomes nothing. It's nothing. I don't think it's a track that many people would care for.
I think it's nothing. But I think it's just it wouldn't have been a standout track. It's just a good track. But then that laugh track added, it's like, okay, genius. I like that. And I just wanted to bring that track in today, because when I was thinking of horror, Halloween-y themed, this is one of the ones that immediately sprung to mind. It's like, oh yeah, I remember this one. I was looking through my video game playlist, and this one popped out more so than like I was ready to bring in a slew of Resident Evil tracks. I felt like
I could have done the same thing for Silent Hill. I could have
Resident
done.
Evil will get it today. Don't worry.
Space it out a bit.
Yeah, Resident Evil will get it today.
But for the next track, I'm shocked that myself, I didn't actually pick this myself.
I'm shocked you didn't bring this one, to be honest.
About it. I didn't even think about it. And
I'm shocked you didn't bring this one.
I didn't. And it was just like, oh my God, how many more tracks am I going to miss that's right in front of me?
That's the beauty of these podcasts. And also the downside is there's never enough time. There's never enough track slots. But the beauty is there's always going to be other episodes, and these tracks will eventually, that we want to bring, we will bring them next time. So stay tuned. Any songs that we continue to throw out there in the future will get played at some point. But if you want to request your own, join the Discord and pop it in the music channel. So I think that's a good time and segue to jump right into our next tracks. Our next tracks being Lavender Town from Pokemon Red and Blue, and Wounded War Song from Silent Hill 4 The Room. Enjoy. I don't think, not that I can recall at this present moment, how the limitations of a console or hardware works in its favor for a particular music track like Lavender Town. It works so well with so few sound channels, and that crackle of the Game Boy hardware of the audio. I imagine it sounds even scarier on the Game Boy. I'd like to try it again one day, but I've not owned a Game Boy since I was a kid. And it's too far back in my memory for me to remember vividly how I felt. Other than I can only remember 2 tracks from Pokemon Red and Blue that I played on release on the Game Boy because it was super popular when we were kids. I can only ever remember 2 tracks: the battle track and this track. The battle track and Lavender Town stayed with me all of my life. This track perfectly encapsulates just that spooky nature. It's quite slow and methodical. Doon 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 doon. It's so eerie, and when you're traveling through the town and the tower in like black and white, and when the battle track comes in, it kind of disturbs it. I kind of wished the battle track didn't come in when you were fighting in the tower. I kind of wish it just stayed as that one track to really emphasize that you're in a spooky place. And it kind of gives me like the TV show or the books goosebump vibes, like horror for kids. I don't mean to discredit the franchise Goosebumps. I'm using it in its favor of this track, that you can make something just spooky, just scary enough to spook a child, but not have it cheesy or too horrific, if that makes sense. I think this track, Lavender Town, perfectly balances in between that. I think it's actually genius. I genuinely believe this track to be absolute genius in the composer Kenichi Mitsuda. I think it's genius. It's just perfectly balancing that it's scary but not too scary to ruin a child's life, but also it works in the context of horror and spook. It's genius. It's pure genius. I just wish I could remember how I felt at that time. It's too far back in my past to remember. What's your thoughts on it? Were you a Pokemon person at the time? I imagine you were, because you're still a Pokemon person now.
Of course I was.
We were the perfect age when Pokemon came out.
Oh, dear me. So, Lavender Town, I'm shocked that, yeah, as you say, I can't believe I didn't think of this myself.
You're a much bigger Pokemon fan than I am.
You have said the best point there, in that the track should have been played during battles. I couldn't agree with more of that statement, because knowing more about the story and knowing more about where you are and what you're finding out,
story if you really go into it too,
is like dark really as hell.
Yeah.
And what happens in Lavender Town is crazy when it comes to a kid's video game. Yeah. Something that I wish the Pokemon company would delve back into, and give us more of a dark themed Pokemon game. Because it's not, I mean, it's available. Of course there are, but I wish they would create it and not have somebody, make a better Pokemon game, shall we say? But we're digressing here. So the music fits the tone so damn well.
Yeah, it does.
It's a city that's in a mysterious, just an aura of what's going on with Mr. Fuji. having a disappearing, and no one's around to look after, the memorial or the burial site for animals, for the Pokemon, and you having to go into this tower to find him, while you have all of these sort of oracle, like mysterious again, these other trainers which have ghost type Pokemon, and you're finding, as you're going up, you're fighting a ghost, which is actually a ghost and not an actual Pokemon, until later on you find out it's obviously a Ghastly, or the Ghastly evolution line, and then when you get to the top, then the story comes to a full, and you start realizing that something's going on. Like, Team Rocket is a huge part of the game, and what you're finding out is that Team Rocket are doing some really dark stuff to Pokemon, and they, in the lore, or what's understood, is that apparently that Team Rocket may have killed a Marowak, and yeah, it's so dark, and again, the track that goes along with it, it's as you say, it's perfection. It is what you're, and then when you said it again right at the beginning of this about the hardware, about what you can do with just 8-bit tunes to create an atmosphere of this, it is just. What else can you say other than perfection? The track is unbelievably good.
It's absolute genius. I don't know if it's lightning in a glass bottle sort of thing, but I don't know how other way to explain it other than the individual who created it, Junichi, is a genius at creating this track. It's perfect. Nothing's perfect, but if you can have near perfect of a track that complements the place you are in with dark undertones, this is the best example. And I think with this track, it does rely a bit heavily on knowing the context of what's happening around it. I don't think the track works very well out of context, other than, this sounds spooky. It sounds like a spooky track. Yet it adds to it when you're playing through the tower and the town going up it, and you're just getting subtle hints. Like, as you were talking about the story, I had no idea about that story. Again, it's a game I've not played since I was a child, and I can't recall all the beats and the dialogue. It's one I'd like to try again when adding to the backlog of retro games I should and shouldn't get back into. Because there's certainly a underlining story there that sounds incredibly interesting. It'd be interesting to see if anybody's took that idea and made like a good ROM hack from it. Imagine there's plenty of ROM hacks out there. Some of them are really good too. I wonder if that like Red chapter did anything for her, because I know that one's quite a more grown-up orientated version of Pokemon Red. That Pokemon Red chapter. I know there's a ROM.
I know there's one based on Giovanni when he's young, and him becoming the evil mastermind behind Team Rocket. And that's quite dark, because it goes into more about why he wasn't listened to, because he was an aspiring Pokemon trainer, and he was kind of working at the time with Professor Oak, and like it's kind of the bits of what people made up. It's not official. This ain't what a Pokemon company want. But this is obviously someone else has made their own
it's
story.
A game for children. There's a glass ceiling when it comes to how quote unquote adults you want to make a story for children. There's definitely clever ways of doing it. I just probably don't think Game Freak is the company that can do it.
And they delve into the dark. They delve into like the dark Pokemon. If you all remember Dark, the Rocket dark Pokemon at the time when they released them in the Pokemon cards, but they kind of go into that about how they like why Pokemon went dark, and some of them went dark due to how they manipulated them, because Team Rocket were a bad organization, a bad terrorist company, if you want to call them, that they kind of just put these Pokemon through slaves. They slaved them. They beat them. They didn't care about them, and they just wanted to get as many Pokemon as they could. And that's what that kind of ROM hack kind of goes into, and how Giovanni became that the reason why they got to where they were. And that's quite a good one. I would recommend you playing that.
That's cool. I think we've exhausted all the praises we can give this track.
Yeah, I don't know if you can say, like I say, Lavender Town is such an iconic.
It's perfect. It sells the scene. It's just what you want from a video game soundtrack.
It sells everything. And when you know, obviously, the story, it just gives that little bit more extra to that song. Because it's, to a kid, I can only imagine myself trying to remember of like, oh yeah, this, as you say, this is just an eerie track, but I'm just going in and just doing willy-nilly. And because you don't always talk to everybody, at least I know I didn't. On my first playthroughs, you just try and go get Pokemon and battle the gym. So I understand it from another perspective of those people who actually cared for a Pokemon story or what the world of Pokemon is, and you got all that all the tidbits from what people are saying, and then you piece it together and you're like, oh Jesus, this is dark. This is incredibly dark. And I mean, if a kid did that and actually understood that, I don't know, I think you'd have a lot of a lot of kids being upset right now. No, that's it's just there's nothing else we can say about Lavender Town other than just it's what it is. It is what it is.
I couldn't think of a segue, so I'm just going to say the name. Wounded War Song from Silent Hill for the Room, composed by the legendary Akira. We have a lot of legendaries today.
We do have a lot, yeah.
Yamoka. You brought this track in today. So why did you bring this track in today? What feelings did it invoke?
I'm a little bit... Okay, for those that know, right, Silent Hill for the Room, and for the song, it is so there was actually quite a few tracks for Silent Hill for the Room that only got featured in certain parts of the game, and sometimes you'd miss them. Now I know we've brought this and I quoted it from Silent Hill for the Room because that's where it's from. I'm initially bringing it from the actual movie, from Silent Hill the movie.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit of a hypocrite only because I know of the song and I know what the context, and it's a track that I know of. But the way that the track is brought into the game is, like I said, it's done via a cutscene, and it's not something that at the time, like I feel like it's not going to do a lot of justice to that track. Because I think this is a perfect track for wandering. Like if this song comes on,
I was imagining I'm walking around somewhere in this track. I've not played Silent Hill 4. I don't even think I've watched many, if any, streams of Silent Hill 4. It's one of the ones in the franchise that's completely alien to me. I'm a bit more familiar with 1 and 2. I've played 1 and 2, not finished them, but I've seen a lot of streams of them. So I'm quite surprised you didn't bring a track from 2, because that's your favourite, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 2 is my favourite. But I wanted to bring this one because I feel like it needed it with 2 obviously just being coming out and everyone's in that limelight of 2. I do want to
play that one, actually. Looks good.
I wanted to bring Wounded War Song because I do think it's a very underrated track, or at least I think it's underrated. And there's a lot of people. I don't know if you're not in the space of Silent Hill that would maybe go and play, because again, Silent Hill 4 is yet to have any kind of love, or at least having some sort of, because I think it's still locked. Is it still locked on the PS2? Is there any other way to play? Is there any other way to play? Is there any other way to play 4?
Sure, there is a GOG version, GOG.com. Let me check for you. Yeah, it's on GOG. Right. It's on sale right now for £5. 9 as of recording date, 30th of the 10th.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So yeah, it's available to buy on digital, on PC. There's no console.
No console other than I think.
Sadly,
I think that's what I was kind of going.
Yeah, you're hoping for. Yeah, totally fair. But no, I don't think there's a console version as far as I'm aware. I can check.
But yeah, as I was saying about the Silent Hill franchise, like there are tons of tracks that you could bring from any of the games, and they would feature in this, and it would feature in many of your Halloween or spooky or whatever you decide to do for your Halloween tracks. But for me, this is Silent Hill. This track gives me so many damn goosebumps every time I hear it that it does exactly what it says on the tin, literally. I wish this would feature in the game more. I wish it was kind of like, as the track says, Wounded War Song. Like, if you get down to enough health, like if you're struggling, this song comes in. And could you, like, this track making if you just got to a point and you're like having no health or having very little health, and then the track coming in, it gives you so much a different vibe to that song. But it's such a shame that, again, it's stuck in a cutscene. I believe it's in the hospital where it comes on. It's, as you say, it's just, I don't know what else I can say. It is such a shame. I love the track. It's fantastic. It just captures everything about Silent Hill for me, about how psychological the song, even if you've not heard that song before, you could just sit there and you could almost be pushed into a world that you could feel that song could take hold of you.
Yeah.
And it's a strong track that can bring on a lot of emotions. And for me, that it has to be, I had to bring it for that reason.
Cool. I'm glad you brought it, because I've not listened to the track before, and you got a lot of emotional resonance from it. And I have nothing to add to that one. Listening to the track, it sounds like, as I mentioned, like somewhere you'd be walking around in a spooky place. It's quite low. Maybe that's just like a theme for like horror tracks in horror video games. It's got to be quite low and subtle, not bombastic. It's more just to set the scene of. The thing is with horror games, I think it relies more on the soundscape in terms of like environmental sounds rather than the soundtrack. Horror games is very much a genre where it wouldn't be too alien to not have a soundtrack, or very little of a soundtrack. It kind of just sits there in the background, and all the other sounds like monsters or weapons or anything like that, that's more of the, you got to work a bit harder to make a good horror game. It's in the soundscape. I feel like this one is meant to exactly that, sit underneath something that's happening as you're walking around on screen. Great track though, very much enjoyed it. Okay, are we happy to move on to the next track?
Yep, I'm good.
Cool. Our next spooky tracks of today's show, we have hold on, let me try it again. Destruction Noise of Fangs from Shadow Heart, and Omen from Bloodborne. Enjoy. Man, I love Shadow Hearts so much. Shadow Hearts, again, it's too long ago in my past to specifically remember when and where I played it, or where I purchased it, or even how I came about it. But I played it around closer to the release of the second one, to give like a time scale of roughly when I played it. And I remember I played nothing like it before in my life. It's a great blend of turn-based horror game. And for context, even though we're doing a horror themed podcast, I'm not actually a horror person. I don't watch horror movies, but I'm slowly watching a few this year. And I don't particularly play horror games either. I watch them on stream because I'm too scared. Too scared to play them myself. So to ease me into the genre, I typically go back and dabble in the older ones like Resident Evil or Silent Hill. This is the first horror game that I actually played from start to finish, and that's because I love the setting, that alternative history of Shadow Hearts, yet set in my favorite video game genre, which is turn-based role-playing games. And it's so unique. Even now, it's still not fully delved into turn-based role-playing games. Maybe just because it's a quite difficult genre to mix together. I don't know. Yeah, we got a good example of it working. I know Koldelka, the one before this, is a good example of that working, and it's actually on my to-play list next after my current game, Parasite Eve. But I was in awe of Shadow Hearts when I played this game. I loved the... I don't want to say it's a scary game. It's definitely had its like grotesque moments, which is why I brought this track in today. By Yosaki Hirota, who composed this particular track. Like, you're in like this rural China village where everything seems quite normal. You're trying to escape from the army, and then something happens, and the town just goes completely. It does a 180. It's got monsters roaming around in the random encounters. The whole village itself has this red, bloody, grotesque, like flesh just dotted all over the town. And as you're walking, you can hear the squelches of your foot hitting flesh. And it's actually a pre-rendered background game, if I recall correctly. It's a pre-rendered background game similar to like a traditional Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 on the PlayStation 2. Everyone was moving to 3D. This one's very much... I think it did a mix. I can't quite recall, sadly. Again, it's another one of those games I'd love to go back and replay to refresh my memory. But I still listen to the soundtrack semi-frequently over the years. There's actually a track I wanted to bring from SH2, but SH2 goes more the horror adjacent rather than horror itself. But yeah, fantastic game. And all the monster design in the video game is amazing. Proper grotesque monsters inspired by demons and religion from folklores. And you get to visit whales in this game. Of course you do. So I've got to include it. You get to visit whales in this game. Spoiler alert.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 already. 10 out of 10 already. Shame it didn't include sheep. It would have been an 11 out of 10. We like our sheep. I like how, as I was saying before with what was I talking about? Silent Hill 4, where a lot of horror games soundtracks has to not be too forward focused to allow the sounds of the environment to take up more of a prominent space. In this game, because it's a traditional Japanese role-playing game with turn-based combat, it has the DNA of a JRPG in that the soundtrack is quite important and has a bit more presence in the scene you're currently viewing. Yeah, it still perfectly balances that spooky nature, yet just, I don't want to say one up like the rest is bad. It's just got a bit more layered into, like, you're in a a Chinese town, so it includes the traditional sound that you'd hear from Chinese horror movies. Doom, 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 doom. I don't know what the instrument's called, and I'm doing a poor imitation of it. But like right at the end of the track, you get to hear that doom, 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 doom. Perfectly encapsulates that Chinese horror influences. And that piano, that dong, da da dong, da da dong, gives it a sense of spookiness, yet some type of urgency. Not too much urgency, but just enough that somewhat of a forward momentum happening. Like the track is moving forward, but cautiously and patiently, creating a sense of like cautious. I don't know the words I'm trying to find. I know what I feel, and I'm struggling to express the feeling. Yeah, great track, and I love the scene that's featured in the town. I can't quite remember the name of the town. I can just picture it clearly in my head. Yeah, great track. Thoroughly enjoyed it. What's your thoughts?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I was like, I've not played the game. You got me.
Sacrilege.
Yeah, you. All those years ago, we went to a CEX when we were in uni, and I happened to pick, and they were there all. I think all two or three of them. I remember picking them up. Yeah, there is three of them, and I think I picked up the first two. Because you told me, you said that these are great, these are fantastic games, and I still never played them.
Hey, look, sometimes that happens. Like we were talking about Parasite Eve, weren't we?
Yeah.
Games I missed in my childhood. I don't know how, don't know why. I just completely missed them, and I'm re-exploring them now, and I'm having a great time. So maybe this is a good chance for you to.
That could be it. Yeah,
whack it on the Steam
exactly
Deck.
that. I do have it. I have it on the Steam Deck, ready to go.
Great.
I just haven't got
really
around to playing it.
It's a great game.
But yeah, for the track itself, yeah, it is. Well, I mean, that's a horror track if I've ever heard one in my life. So
I love the Chinese influences in it.
Yes, there is that as well. So I was quite, it was like, I can hear it too. So yeah, it was good that you picked it up, and I could hear it. I picked it up too. So, but no, I'm looking forward to playing it. I'd love to get around to doing it as soon as possible. But no, it's a good track.
Unique combat system as well, even for a turn-based combat. It's for anybody out there who has ever played, again, I will mention it, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I don't know if it's directly influenced, but there is a combat mechanic in that one that's featured in Shadow Hearts. I think they took it more from another game, Legend of Dragoon. Maybe Shadow Hearts was influenced by The Legend of Dragoon, in a nice chain of influences there. Who knows? Shadow Hearts has like a ring system where to do an attack, you have to hit a dial within a coloured section of a ring. Really, and that's another reason why I loved it at that time, because even on the PlayStation 2 era, I was getting a bit, what else could you do with a turn-based combat system? And even then, they were trying something different, and it worked. And even now with Claire Obscure, they're trying something different, and it's working. Really great game. It's so unique as well. The whole aesthetics of the game. There's nothing quite like it at the time. And even now, I'd argue there's nothing quite like that of this time. Not that I can recall or I've ever seen. I really wish... Unfortunately, Shadow Hearts is one of those games that's stuck in legal limbo. I don't think anybody knows who actually owns the IP. So it's just stuck in the ether. Yeah, I would say, you know what? I would class that as abandonware. No one knows who owns it or where it's gone. Acquire it however you so please.
That's
Guilt free. And if you want to support them, find out who currently owns the rights and write a polite email to them to get it ported to Steam or your console of choice. Yeah, great track. And any more to add?
No, I will get on to playing that game as soon as I can. That's all I can add.
Well, you brought in our next track, Omen from Bloodborne, composed by Ryan Eamon. I believe that's the correct pronunciation. So why have you brought this track today? What feelings did it invoke?
Welcome to the hunt, hunters, fellow hunters.
I hate this game so much. I don't hate it, but it just beat me, and I'm salty about it. I'm going to say it. It beat me to hell and back, and I'm salty about it. So I don't hate it.
For me, the greatest From Software game.
Yeah, you love this, but you love this game.
Bloodborne is by far the. How can you not love that? I don't know, just the
love
gothic,
aesthetically. It's aesthetically
the gothic HP Lovecraft world, full of monsters and God knows what's going on. Because like it's easy to begin with. I say easy, I mean to you.
Yeah.
I meant for story-esque. I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about this is I'm going to be fighting werewolves and stuff, and the game just goes woof, and you just end up with this crazy world of just frightening creatures and horror.
I love the creature design in this game.
Everything about this game, including from the soundtrack, and this song particularly, just brings that. Everything about Bloodborne in one track, from the eeriness of the vocal, of just I guess it's just a hum, like kind of like not just like a howl, like a woman like kind of howl-esque.
Yeah.
It's not really just like a sort of, and all the instruments from like the violin, the brass, and the drums, that first drum, so I'm going to give you a bit of story. So over lockdown in COVID, I got the Bloodborne soundtrack and I put it on, and my mum was here, and she told me to turn it off because this was the track played, by the way. It was the first track on that. And she told me to turn it off because she said it was scaring her. She said, "Oh, this is horrible." And that she's never played Bloodborne. She's never played Bloodborne. She has no idea what Bloodborne is. But the fact is, she got that emotion to say it was terrifying. That's enough. For that to me was like, if someone could do that from this track to give someone else that feeling, then that's why I was like, I've got to bring this one on. And I think it was one of my second tracks. I was like, right, this has got to come on. And as I was saying, going to that first, I don't know, it's like I don't know what you want to call it. It's like the beat of something, just the first boom, 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 boom. Just like, it's almost like, if I kind of want to put it next to like the BFG division, where he used all of what tools he could to create that sound for BFG division, and this is the same thing for using multiple different instruments to bring that out. Yeah, to give that vibe of horror, that vibe of disturbing scenes of grotesque things that you're going to go across, you're going to go on a journey to, and this song embodies that perfectly, to the point of where it all picks up. Do 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 do.
I can't recall where this track is featured either, sadly.
It's not. It's actually not even featured in the game.
Oh, really?
No, it's actually just on a trailer. I think it was just the trailer.
Cool. I do like the vocal performance in this. I like that. It's not spooky, is it? It's more like it kind of fits the gothic vibe like you'd hear in like a church. It's almost like choir-esque. And it kind of fits the theme of the game in that there's lots of tall cathedral-like buildings. I can imagine the singers singing this within one of those one of those buildings. I really like the vocal track. not a fan of the game per se. I don't hate the game. It's certainly one I'd like to try again one day without streaming it, just play it at my own pleasure, and try it again, because I love this game. Right, hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay, here we go.
I feel towards this game like I feel towards Riot's games with League of Legends. I love it aesthetically. I love the character design. I love the world, the lore, what they're trying to do. I just don't want to play the game. I just don't enjoy the gameplay or the community. Like I don't know if this is a hot take, but again, I spend a lot of time in Twitch and video game communities. The community and fandom for the Soulsborne franchise is, there's some good eggs in there and there's some bad eggs, as is the case with any video game franchise. Yeah, it reminds you of something like the League of Legends community, where it's not beginner friendly. It's not very inviting, and you really have to go out your way to find the good people within the community who want you to love the games and enjoy them, and then you have everybody else which are very gatekeepy, and that can really turn me off. Not that this is a multiplayer game by any means. I think you can play it in multiplayer, and you suggested it a few times. Yeah, the community aspect of the Soulsborne really turns me off very much, like League of Legends games. Not that it's important to enjoy a game. I can very much ignore it. It's just something I'd like to highlight.
Yeah, I mean that is true. I mean, there is a lot of gatekeeping in the world of the Soulsborne community. I don't know much about the League of Legends myself because I don't really delve into it.
Oh, it's bad. In fact, if you suggest to somebody who's deep into League of Legends, hey, should I try League of Legends? The first thing they would say is, don't you dare play League of Legends. They will actively turn you off from it.
But if someone turned to me and goes, is Bloodborne worth playing? I would 100% say yes, because it's a different type. For me, luckily, Bloodborne isn't an online game.
Just don't stream it.
Just don't stream it. Just play it in your own time. Just play it in your own space. You don't need to tell anyone what you did. You know, you don't need to tell them if you brought somebody in to help or you cheesed the boss because you couldn't, you got him stuck somewhere. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're there to enjoy a game. Play it how you want to play it. As I always say, if the game is made, because all the Souls games mostly have a multiplayer option, they also have people to bring into the game. If it's there for a reason. There are people who actually aren't professionals who can't, do all of these wonderful things. Because I suck at the game sometimes. I'm not a huge professional, and I will openly admit there's been a couple of bosses where I've gone, sod it, I'm just getting somebody in, and I did. And I'll openly admit to it, because guarantee there's 95% of the community has done that too.
Yeah. There's
a very small percentage of people who can go solo in these games because, but one, they are there hammering the game 24/7 almost to find out the perfect strategy and the perfect way to do it. People ain't got the time for that. Ain't got time for that, man. Nobody got time for that now. It's not going to happen. I love the games. I love the aestheticness of all Souls games. And I want to experience the game. I don't want to be stuck on the first boss. I don't want to be stuck doing all that
That's
too.
Absolutely me.
I want to be able to explore. I want to be able to see the game. And that to those people that get put off by that, don't. I know it's easier said. I know when somebody, and if they've been arguing with you and telling you this is the way to play, ignore them. Ignore them.
Yeah, that's the best
listen
advice.
To them. Play the game and just enjoy it how you want to play it. Don't care about what someone else has did, because they're professionals. They're the ones who sit at the game 24/7. Just let them do what they want to do, but don't get put off by basically going, oh, because I can't beat the boss, I don't deserve to play the rest of the game. No, just use the facilities, use the game for that, and you'll still enjoy it, and you'll enjoy it because look, I'll even say this, and I'll go on record. Bringing bringing in people actually makes the game harder because the health bar on all enemies or on the bosses go up. So when you have more people in, if you have a full set of 3 other people playing, the Souls games, because I think only in Bloodborne, I don't know how much can you have in Bloodborne. Can you have 3? I don't know. I should know this. But if you bring in anyone, including in Bloodborne, by the way, it's the same thing. That if you bring in somebody, the health bar goes up. So in fact, you're making the game more difficult. But that takes away from the fact is if you're doing that. But if you're having somebody else in, yes, it's somebody else who to take the flak, to take the tanking of it, so you can go around the back and give it some slaps around its ass, because that's what you usually do. That's how you get around some bosses, and that's fine. You're okay doing that. Let's make cooperative, jolly cooperation, as they call it in the Souls game community. Jolly cooperation, a jolly experience. Let's break the let's break it. Let's break the wall down. That's what I say.
I do like to preface that. I don't think entirety of the Soulsborne or League of Legends community is toxic. I think it's the toxic side of the community is just louder than the other side, so it's hard to gauge which group is more than the other group, if that makes sense. Maybe the Soulsborne is mostly full of positive members of the community, but those minority louder than the positive force. But I don't know, because I've not fully delved into the community ratio, good to bad. I only get to experience from Twitch, and from my experience watching any Soulsborne, anything on Twitch, it's mostly just full of backseaters. No one can just let a first playthrough be enjoyed as the first playthrough. Everybody just needs to tell people the answer, because they're not playing the game how they played the game. And it's hard for me to, because there's streamers who I've been watching for years and very much enjoy their content, and they've plastered everywhere in the comment section as a bot every 30 minutes, in their title screens. They say it vocally, no spoilers, story or gameplay otherwise, and just some 1 or 2 bad eggs just cannot help themselves. If anyone is listening and they do enjoy streaming or joining streams of Soulsborne people, just let them play their game and just enjoy them. Let them figure it out for themselves, unless they specifically say. That's my only 2 cents from it. The game itself, I love it aesthetically. I love the music. I love the outfits. I think the outfits are gorgeous. Of all the NPCs and the characters, I love the monsters. They're all grotesque in the right way. I love the environments. It's gorgeous. It's gothic and violence. I love it. I love everything about it. I even love the gameplay, combat system. I like the methodology behind it. I enjoy the action combat. Using the parry and the gun and the sword, and using those 2 together. And when you do the parry perfectly, it's no greater feeling. It's so euphoric. It's beautiful. It's just too hard. I think it's, for me anyway, and I know that's the point of it. I know the point is you are going to die 1,000 times before you get it. It's just, for me personally, as an individual as well, I just haven't got the patience anymore to constantly smash my head on a wall over and over and over and over and over and over and over again for multiple hours to crack the boss finally. I have a time limit tolerance in my own mind. If I'm still stuck on a boss in an hour, and in that Bloodborne boss, I streamed a little bit of it, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I tried it again off time. I was putting multiple hours into one boss. I was like, you know what? This is taking my time away from other things I'd rather enjoy. It's time for me.
You got close so many times as well.
I got close many times, and it's just
many.
And I know it in myself. Eventually, I will get it. It's just, am I going to get it within an hour, or am I going to get it within 24 days? I haven't got the patience all the time, and it's not a game that's going to profoundly affect me in any way. Like we've gone way off tangent. That's okay.
Yeah, but I was going to say we'll bring it back.
We're not even talking about the music anymore. I think Soulsborne does. Even people who are not well adversed in the Soulsborne franchise, it's something special. The Soulsborne franchise, it really is. There's nothing else quite like it. It holds a very special place within the video game lexicons. I'm not sure that's the right word, but and Elden Ring as well.
You probably don't even need to bring a track. You can just bring just the name Soulsborne, and it's horror enough as it is for most people.
Yeah, it's horror in multiple different facets. And
yeah.
Even the other ones, which I would call maybe like horror adjacent, it invokes a lot of horrific feelings in a lot of people, I imagine.
Yeah.
It's a very unique franchise, and I hope it stays for the long term. If I could throw my hat in the ring and just say, can we make one a little bit easier just for me to enjoy? Because I really want to at least finish one of them just to tick it on my list. Like I've played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, a touch of Elden Ring, and I've gotten so far into each of them. I think Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne is the furthest I've gotten in any of them, and it's not far. Dark Souls 1 is the furthest I've gotten in any of them. And again, I just hit that wall, and I haven't got the patience to just keep battering my head on a wall for multiples of hours on one boss. Even Shin Megami Tensei series, which is the turn-based variant of Dark Souls in its difficulty, none of those bosses last an hour. It's usually you'll die, you'll figure it out, you go again, you might die, but then the third time you're probably going to get it. Bloodborne is not like that. It's very much I figured out the strategy, I'm just failing to execute it, and that's a me thing. I'm going a roundabout way to say it's purely a skill issue, and I'm okay. I am not skilled at this game. Yeah, and I can appreciate its horror aesthetics and its spookiness towards the Cthulhu mythos. It's great track, great track, great theming. I love it. Thank you for bringing it. Any last more to add on our roundabout way of talking about Bloodborne when we're not even talking about the track? And that's okay. You know, I'm glad that I thought our show is very much we are talking about our love or discussion about a video game through music. Like the music that we bring in on our shows is a stepping point to talk about a game that we love so much, and I enjoy that.
No, I don't think I have much else to add. The only thing I will say is I believe on on a certain emulator now, there is a Bloodborne.
There is
game
a way of playing Bloodborne on PC, maybe, possibly. I would look a bit more into it.
I believe there's certain settings that you might be able to just make the game a little bit more favourable. Shall we say one that you might actually just get through the game?
I wouldn't do it out of spite. I would absolutely be taking a leaf out of Paigey's hat on this one. I wouldn't do it out of spite. If I can't get past the boss, then it's my own failing to finish it properly, to play it properly. I'm not going to start using cheats. It's kind of spitting on the face of the mythos of Soulsborne, is that you are up against insurmountable odds at every corner of every fight. It could be your last one, from the little stupid crickety things to the big gargantuan things. Every one of those could kill you, and that's the point. But yes, there is ways of playing it on PC if you go into it. And this is our siren call for Sony to, what the fuck you doing? Pull your finger out your ass. Get it on Steam. Even if it's just a shit 720, 1080p, 30 FPS port.
60 FPS, that's what they have to do.
Even that, right? If it means not having it on Steam, just get it working on Steam. I think that's what people would rather have it 4K 60 FPS, but at this point I think people would just be happy with anything on Steam to get people to play it. Sony, put the finger out the ass. Anyway, that's close to the end of the show. But first, me and Zakashi are going to listen to our next track, for the main theme from Dead by Daylight, and then we shall talk about the said track, and then we will end the show with said track. Oof, what a vibe. That's the right vibe. I've never heard that track before. That's a right vibe. I was sort of just slowly nodding to it. I loved the acoustic that they brought in. It was like doom, 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 doom. And that like bass at the background, that sort of bringing it home, just doom, doom, doom. It's really good. I'm really impressed by that track. I never heard it before, or I did and completely forgot about it. But that's a great track. Well done for bringing that along. That was by Michael F. April. Dead by Daylight, is it one of your favorite games of all time? You've been playing this for a long time.
I have. I've been playing it almost from day one since it come out.
And Paigey Possum too.
Yep, she's been a part of it. Although she hasn't been playing it from day one. She didn't want to play it. She said it frightened her too much, and then eventually I got her into it, and she can't stop playing it herself. So I do feel bad. I guess I've got hooked onto a game. So there you go. I guess I had to bring the ultimate horror-esque game, or I suppose the game right now that's obviously that compiles everyone's favorite killer from many different films. Every Friday the 13th. Well, no, actually not Friday the 13th because Jason's not in the game yet. Whether it's Halloween, Michael Myers, Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street, the Saw from the Pig, just numerous aliens in it. Just there's tons. And the game, the vibe of this track, it's so for reference, the track is split into two portions. I know towards the end there is there's different versions that happens as well, depending on the killer that you pick. But the first main two is the first bit of the track is the Survivor theme, and it kind of that acoustic feel, and then later on it goes into a bit more of a grit, bit more of a darker, kind of like electric guitar, and that's the killer theme, and they blend so well with each other, and it just goes. I don't know how else I can kind of say it, but it's just done so great that, and when you're picking the characters on the screen or something, that the theme will play, it's a great track. It's just a great track.
Great introduction to Dead by Daylight. I think I mentioned it briefly before, that I'm not a horror person. I've not grew up watching horror movies. I've seen some, or like horror adjacent, I like to call them. So, I've seen like Alien, which is technically a horror, but in a different way. It's not like, I don't know what the right term is. Again, I don't watch horror movies. It's just something I've slowly been getting into this year, with our Final Fantasy 14.
It's a
group.
horror. It's 100% a horror. Alien.
It's a horror of a different kind, I suppose. And
science fiction horror, if you want to.
Yeah.
It's just what it is, but it's still a horror. But Aliens is a different type. I don't think it is a horror. I think it's more of an action paced, slight horror-esque, but more action.
But yeah, so horror is not really a genre that I've really delved into. So like when I see like the roster on Dead by Daylight, a lot of the names don't mean anything to me. Like I recognize some of them, like just visually. Like when I seen like, what's it called? The one with pins in his head.
A pinhead.
Oh, sorry. No, okay. Okay.
Literally pinhead.
Like I recognize that image because I grew up, I don't want to say grew up in, but my mum worked in a VHS rental store. So I got to grow up looking at lots and lots and lots and lots of not video game, like VHS box art, and a lot of them are iconic, like Jason, Pinhead, Alien. I've seen a lot of them, but I don't know the context or their names because I wouldn't have been allowed to watch horrors growing up. And I'm a scaredy cat. I don't enjoy being scared. So I feel like this game is such a love letter to horror fans, because horror fans are like fervent. They are incredibly passionate people. I kind of equate it to the same as like quote unquote metalheads, like, because metalheads are incredibly passionate people for their music genre and some of the nicest people you've ever met in your life. Like people who are really into their horror movies are just really cool people, and like they're not violent in any way. They're just so cool people. I've met a lot of people in my life who like fervent horror fans, and they're the sweetest people you've ever met in your life. They just happen to enjoy movies where people are getting slashed to shit. It's great. Same with like metalheads. You think a lot of them would be like angry people, and that's furthest from the case at all. Like they're some of the nicest, gentlest people you've ever met in your life. And I feel like this game is a love letter to those people, to those fans of like horror movies. Kind of like in the same way Nintendo is to Smash Bros. Like Smash Bros is very much a celebration of Japanese video game developers with and incorporating lots of different video game characters. And this is for you horror people. It's, this game, and it's evidence that it's well loved because it's been going on for 10 years or whatever long it's been going on for. It's been going on for a long time.
I feel like it is coming up to 10 years. I feel like it has been about 10 years.
Sadly, I'm just not one of them. Like horror is just one of those genres that completely passed me by. I like some horror stuff. Like I love Resident Evil franchise, but not particularly because it's a scary franchise, really. I just got a lot of memories with it. And it's more of a shooty one. But I'm delving back into other horrors around it, like Silent Hill and Parasite Eve. Parasite Eve's great. I can't stop talking about it. I love Parasite Eve. I wish I played that as a kid. Yeah, I'm glad that, because you're a big horror fan. I don't know, like in the scale of like horror fans, quote unquote. Like, there's no scale, is there? You're a horror fan or not? Like you really enjoy your horrors, very much so. And I'm glad you got a game like this where it's just all these famous horror villains people have grown up and loved can now get to play as these like villains that you've grown up and loved throughout the years. I imagine a lot of people this is their dream come true. I get to play a video game where I get to play my favorite horror movie villains, from Pinhead to Jason and whoever else, or Nicolas Cage, just because Nicolas Cage.
Just because, yeah, why not?
I know one of my friends, I imagine them being incredibly happy when they announced Nicolas Cage. Also because they're a big horror fan as well. And I imagine a lot of people were surprised and thrilled they get to play Nicolas Cage.
He's got some great perks in the game, by the way. I imagine
he does. Yeah, I imagine he does. But yeah, I wish I was part of that community, but I'm glad that community has it, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them.
You're talking about a toxic community. Jesus Christ, Dead by Daylight is one of the most toxic communities I ever known. It's more toxic than it's probably the toxic community that I'm a part of. I'm ashamed to be, because I don't wish it. I'm not toxic myself, but like I know it is because I've seen it. It is atrocious. And like, yeah, as you say, if someone came to me and said, "Is Dead by Daylight a good game?" I would definitely say it's a good game, but just don't go into the community. Stay away. Stay away.
Just play the game, turn voice chat off, and enjoy it.
That's it. And there's no voice chat in the game.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
No, it's one thing that they've said that like people have been crying for it for a long time, but it's like, how would they even do it? I think the only way they'd get around it would be proximity chat. I think that would make the game a hell of a lot funny, by the way. Yeah. I think proximity chat in Dead by Daylight would be, it'd be hilarious, but I'm glad I don't think it's not the right game for it. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there'd be a lot of people that would abuse that. And depending on the characters that you are, because I think it'd be great for certain people, because you could really role play characters. You know, people could get in, you know, behind them and stuff. Because if you're hearing somebody chasing you and stuff, but I can understand it probably as well. It comes with its bad, the bad that comes with that too. But it's a toxic community. Stay away. But it is a great game.
And play it couch co-op. I would recommend maybe. Maybe couch co-op is the best way to play it with friends or friends over Discord. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, get a group of you, four of you together, and go in and
I'd like
enjoy
to play
this with you and Paigey, like as a one-off show, maybe like
a Swift as they call it, surviving with friends.
Yeah.
And you know,
imagine Paigey would be part of the problematic community members. I could totally imagine them being. When people talk about toxic community, I could definitely imagine Paigey being one of them. Sorry, Paigey's calling it out.
Oh dear.
They are very much a get good or go home type of individual.
Oh, 100%.
By their own admission as well, I imagine.
Yes, definitely.
But, are we ready to wrap up? I think this is our longest show.
It has been, yeah.
It's our longest show, which I'm glad it's our Halloween show. I'm super happy we managed to get this created. Really looking forward to this one. And Zakashi, thank you so much for bringing your tracks along. You've had some absolute bangers on tonight.
We have.
And this show will be aired on the day of Halloween, which is tomorrow for us, but for you, it's right now. Enjoy your
happy Halloween, everyone!
Happy Halloween. Enjoy your celebrations, either be for yourself or for your children or with your spouses or with your best friends. Enjoy Halloween. Enjoy dressing up. Enjoy all the sweets. Or go trick-or-treating. Enjoy it. Just enjoy the theme of Halloween. And hopefully you can listen to the soundtracks we've brought along with you today. If you'd like to listen to our previous episodes, we have a playlist somewhere in the channel where you can listen to all our previous episodes in the pinned comment below or in our comments description box, whatever that is. You'll also find a music only playlist if you just want to listen to the tracks, totally fine. That's also included. We also join the Discord as well, so you can be notified of when we release our next episode, when one of us goes live. It's actually currently nearing the end of Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. You're not far off now, maybe one stream, maybe two at a push, but within possibly 2 streams at least. I'll be returning, continuing the playthrough of our Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster Trophy run. It's getting finished at some point, absolutely. And also there'll be links to all of us, the purple platform. I didn't say the word. The purple platform. And tonight, ghouls and ghosts, zombies, monsters, werewolves, that's one, vampires. Enjoy your Halloween specials. I was just trying to go through this. I was like, my brain stopped working. My brain just stopped working. Well, I am a ghoul. I don't have many brain cells left. They've all been dead and rotted in the ground.
I've eaten them. I think I've eaten your brain.
I think you have eaten my brain. So tonight we have zombie gaming.
That'd be me.
And with your host, Ghoul in a Hat. Enjoy our last track of the night, which is Dead by Daylight main theme by Michael F. April. Goodbye. Goodbye.